Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another video slash episode on this podcast slash YouTube channel. You already know how it goes. If you are new, welcome. And if not, welcome back. Today, I am here with another podcast episode back to back from the last one. And I want to talk about something that I feel like needs to be talked about more, as I don't even know why I say that, because I feel like that's what I do on this whole channel. We're conversation starters over here. But if you're new here, you know my channel, I talk about a lot of stuff, especially in my podcast. Just healing from being in an abusive relationship, healing from just dealing with men, confidence crushed, emotional abuse, just like a whole lot of stuff. How I've healed, I've had so many perspective changes, and how I've learned so much about myself, especially through therapy. Get professional help, guys. You don't need other stuff. You need professional help. You need professional help. Go get it. And me, I'm sure like a lot of you, have you guys ever heard of that one exercise when it's like use 4 words or 4 core things like that you need in a relationship? And I feel like at this point in my life, my main one is safety. And I talk a lot about emotional safety. I have not felt safe emotionally in one relationship. I've dealt with reactive people, I've dealt with emotional abuse, just not hearing my feelings. I've just dealt with so much, and I continue to be myself despite it all, despite these emotionally unintelligent men. But my mutual was talking the other day, and she said something about like, at the more you grow up and the more your brain develops, you want to date men who are safe, who live safe. Not even just talking about, oh, how do they make me feel? How are they like emotionally, which is what like my number one, what I always talk about. But men who are safe, and think about that for a second, what that means. Because that statement really had me thinking, like, yeah, men who are safe, like looking past how do they treat you? All men treat you, oh, nice, sweet, I love to hear your feelings and concerns in the beginning. They love it in the beginning, don't they? Now, don't they? That's the problem. But literally looking at men, how they live their life. What do they care about? How do they live? Who do they hang around? Who do they bring you around? What do they do for work? What have they done for work? And I feel like that's not something you think about as much when you're younger. When you're younger, it's just like, oh, he's cool. We're young. We're still finding each other, which I'm only 22. I'm still very much doing that. But that statement really had me reflecting on my last relationship. I was with a guy that I thought I felt super safe with in the relationship. Like, physically safe with. Like, oh my God, like he has this crazy past. I was not okay with the past, but it was just like a whole bunch of, I don't live like that anymore. I'm in the stance of trying to turn my life around. I wouldn't, da, da, da. But it was just like, oh, like, yeah, I have this past and I don't deal with people like this. I'll beat who does stuff like this. Like, I don't play. Like, I beat about my girl before. Like just this whole past of like, oh, like I've dealt with so many men. Like I'm a suburban black girl. And for the most part, I would date like other suburban black boys who I feel like just didn't give that energy of like what you really gonna do if something happens. Um, and it was like when I was with my ex, I used to call him an XYN, but he definitely still was YNing. He definitely still was giving YN and had YN tendencies. And it was a whole lot of like, let me give you some examples how I'm like, ooh, that was not a good choice. I would have conversations with this man, just like him telling me about his life. He was also older than me, very manipulative, talking about, oh, I've gotten fights here before. I've gotten fights over someone saying this before. I've got it. And like all those times I would think like, is it really a big deal to be causing commotion and like assaulting somebody over that? Like that's how I would think. Like he was just a super aggressive person, but always like, I'd never do that to you. Women on top, I have a bunch of sisters. I love my mom. I only have aggressive energy towards men because men have traumatized me and my dad. Too many issues, right? I would always be like, I mean, like, that's good that you care about people, but like, when I would listen to these stories, I'll be like, I don't think that's a smart choice. And the fact that you said you would still do that to this day. It's like no type of emotional regulation. I already saw he had no type of emotional regulation being with him, but I was like, oh, he has no emotion regulation, period. If you're that aggressive and angry and always ready, right? And it would even come down to like, this man was 26 years old, no license, no insurance, did not tell me that at first, was just driving me around like that. I had no idea. What are you going to do if you're driving me somewhere far and you get pulled over and you get your car taken and you have me stranded? I didn't even know. Didn't even tell me that the first couple months of the relationship. Like, that's crazy at that big age to not have those basic things. Had a license, had it taken away for stuff, never paid it back, that type of, like, just like giving irresponsible, right? Um, you would think someone that doesn't have two things that could really get you in trouble would be such a careful, considerate driver, right? Wrong. This man would drive so crazy, so fast, hopping in and out of lanes that you know you're not supposed to, swerving around people, not slowing down to the second, road raging with people when he was literally the problem. And he was like, oh, like, it's not, I've drove like this for years. Like, the area I'm in, they don't care. There's so much a lot of other stuff happening. Like, I would never get caught. Like, this and this happened to me when I used to live like this. So like, nothing's gonna happen to you. Like, relax. Like, this man, if you guys watch my videos, you already know this man was so, he was so like crazy that he was always getting mad at me for everything because his life was terrible. But he would even get crazy when I would be concerned, like, you're driving like this with me in the car. Got into a lot of almost car accidents with him. Like, why are you driving this fast in a parking lot where there's children and family around that you can almost hit? Like, you know, I would literally say my concern, like, can you not like drive like that or like blast music? Like, I'm feeling anxious like when you're driving me around like this, and then you don't want to drive with me because I drive like a grandma and too slow. Well, I drive how you should be driving, not having a license, little nigga. He would get mad at me for advising him to be safe and be careful about his situation. Nothing's gonna happen to me. Like, why are you okay? You're anxious, but this is what makes me feel more anxious when I blast music. This is what helps with my anxiety when I blast music and drive like that. So now I have to turn it down and drive safe because it makes you feel it. I know, y'all are like, how did you think that wasn't a YN anymore? Yeah, like crazy, crazy. I think back to that stuff where I'm like, I would always be on edge. And like I said, driving like that is one thing, but driving like that when you don't have the big two is crazy. It's crazy. I'm 5 years older, just trying to advise you to be careful about your life, because I love you, and instead you're getting mad at me. Like, it's crazy. Like, I just think back to stuff like that where it's like you wouldn't think something as little as how someone drives like would be something to think about, but it really is. It really, really is. Like, oh, I would drive like this with anyone in the car. I don't care. Have I crashed yet though? I've never crashed yet though. My future husband is not gonna be someone who I'm anxious, 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 sweating, heart pounding every time they drive me. Every time I'm the passenger. Would you drive like this? Oh, would you drive like this in the future? Like, if we had a family, or like if I was pregnant and stuff, like, yeah, that's just how I drive. Like I said, it is safe because I've never crashed. Yeah, I'm not changing that for no one. Y'all, I'm sorry, just like the fact that I dated that is insane. And it, like I said, think about who you date and are these men safe, how they live their lifestyle. That is something so simple and reckless. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people like that I know that drive crazy. Like, girl, you drive a little fast. But I'm like, I've never seen someone just that careless. It's like you don't care about hurting yourself or me or hurting other people, and you're road raging and like flipping off and stuff people who are mad at you for driving wrong, and you're getting mad at them. Like, it's just like, is this someone who I want to be with? Obviously, it's not, because I left that nigga 6 months ago. But it really, really puts things into perspective. Like, I really think about how just last year I was dating someone who did not make me safe, did not make me feel safe emotionally or physically, really. Like I was always worried about his lifestyle and how that would turn out for him, and all these things. And it's like I look back at myself not even that long ago and I'm like, so you didn't feel safe in either of those ways. What the fuck did you like about him? What like it's one thing for people who are a little reckless, a little wild, but they're still good people at heart and they care. No, he had neither of those. So it's like what did you like about him, girl? I know that's what my parents was asking the whole time. Like I just feel like especially for women, we need to crack down. I just seen this TikTok the other day that had me jumping for joy, that saying that the birth rate has declined. Yes. As someone who wholeheartedly wants to be a mother one day, I love that we are not having kids anymore for these men who don't deserve it. These men, oh, I want to be a dad so bad. But do you want to be a husband? No, you just want to be a dad. Girl, dad, you just want to be a dad. Take them to Disneyland. Treat the mom like, but treat the baby like, but I'm a good father though. But all those aspects matter. Like, I just love that us girls are going down this path because violence against women has always been so real and existent. However, in 2025, I just feel like I love that we're gaining, like in my generation, I feel like we're gaining community of not normalizing it anymore. Not normalize, like y'all, like for our grandparents, that was so normal. Like, oh, your husband slapped out of you. That's just a normal Tuesday morning. Like, no one questioned, like, oh, that's just how men are. That boys will be boys statement. No, that. That. We're not playing that anymore. I don't give a. Yeah, they will be boys because they're not men. I don't care. Grow up. Like, grow up. I don't care that this happened to them when they were kids. I don't care that they went through all this abuse. I don't care that. Grow up. Grow up and get help instead of inflicting it on other people. That is like the hugest theme I think I'm tired of in my dating. Just like I feel like I see these men that I date for their inner child so badly, especially the last one, where I'm like, well, they're just like this, and I understand it. I understand. But they don't want to understand me though. So why am I extending so much patience and grace? Why? Why? And it's not like I'm supposed to do for anything in return, but I am though. It's a relationship. It's a relationship. It's supposed to be reciprocal, and I'm supposed to be gaining something, not just emptying my cup. So I love that because it's getting real. It's like in 2025, it's getting real. It's getting televised, and people are still not being held accountable, as we've seen with Mister. Yeah, very disappointing verdict. Yeah, it's like when I look back on my last relationship, I had so much admiration of like, oh, all these things happened to him and he used to live kind of reckless, but I admire that all he's trying to do is get away from it and get better and get up. I don't have time for someone who, oh, I'm trying to get up and I'm trying to get better and all that, but you're still taking your old ways into the present. I don't have time for that. And I know like when I was with that man, I used to be so patient. Well, like, and he used to try to convince me too. Well, like, it's not just gonna happen overnight. I'm still blah blah blah. And that's fine. That is how the healing process is. You don't change overnight. You're still gonna have some qualities about yourself you don't like. You're still gonna do some act out in problematic ways. However, comma, after I went through the worst relationship of my life, dealing with abuse, dealing with anxiety, dealing with like the darkest place I've ever been in my life, you know what I did? I did that completely by myself and I didn't drag someone down in my misery. That's what I did. I broke up with my abuser when I was 20 and I didn't start my relationship with this guy until I was 22. So I was like, I look back at myself and me trying to be so kind hearted and understanding to someone who's lived a different life I've lived, doesn't didn't have access to the resources and the stability that I had, and just try to have so much comfort. And I'm like, what made him, what, like, that situation, what makes you think you deserve this girl who just put in the work almost 2 years by herself? By herself. Well, obviously with community, with my therapist, with my family, but I didn't drag someone new into the equation, right? I did it by myself. I held so many things, so many fears, so many blah, blah, blah. What makes you think you get all that when you don't want to do the work? What, like, why does someone like that think that they deserve me? Miss O'Healer, she did the work, like she's so much, she's so this. Why do you deserve any of that? And I'm not trying to say, like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm above people or people don't deserve, but you don't deserve it if you're not trying to do the same thing. You don't. Like, these men don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. The older I get, after being so understanding and so walked over in like all my younger relationships, is like, I think people, like, you know how people are like, when they tell someone off, they're like, I hope you meet someone just like you. You deserve someone like you. Y'all deserve each other when it's bad people. That's really, really true. Like, I really think that's true the more I grow into my womanhood. Like I said, why did I think someone like that deserved a piece of me? No. And mind you, I'm not perfect. So no man I meet is going to be perfect. Check every single thing off the list. Never mess up. Don't get it twisted when I say that. I hate the, oh, we can't expect men to mess up. That doesn't include lying, being unfaithful, wandering eyes, being abusive. That doesn't include any of that. Messing up doesn't include any of that. So don't even. But no, I deserve someone who is actively trying and healing and holding themselves accountable and being considerate and all those things. Like trying and doing. A lot of people like to like dream, like my ex, the man I was just with. They like to dream and talk and all that. I want someone who's gonna do. Do you guys see this? I have 1,000 subscribers and I never miss a week. I'm not getting a dime off of this. I'm lucky if I get a comment. I do it because I love what I do and I know it's going to take me somewhere because I'm doing it with a genuine heart. I don't like people who just talk. Like, I'm so off that. I truly think with the last man I dated, like I said, when I was in the relationship with him, I thought I felt safe because I'm like, oh, he has this past of violence and getting out of things and handling that like, oh, he would never let anything happen to me and I always know I'm safe with him. Am I? Like, I feel like so many girls fall into this trap of like, men are so aggressive and so angry, but it's just like, he would never do that to me though, and he directs all that. Like, do I really want him spreading that energy, but then, oh, you protect me? And is he really gonna protect? Do people like that really protect you? Because he didn't. Like, he really didn't. Like, that is not safe, having someone who's just willing, ready, always ready. That's not a safe mentality to have. And then again, you put into equations being with these men, having families with them. Is having that mentality and doing that, is that going to put your family in danger? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like after that relationship, my frontal lobe is developing. I like debated even talking about this for a while because I don't know, y'all. Like, I'm weird with my trauma, but like, speaking of like men who you think are gonna protect you and they don't, this man was all, I have sisters. I've fought my homeboys who said they put their hands on women. You know, all those men who love to come with that energy, like, and then still do stuff. So you did all that for what? For what? For what? I remember about 2 weeks before me and this man ended things. Like I said, this man had mental illness. He just had like a lot of stuff going on. He was just always like a very irritable, unpredictable person. Like, I can't tell, like I said, I didn't feel emotionally safe. I can't tell if like you're about to yell at me for this or if you're gonna be like understand like People who can't regulate their emotions, even if they don't like what they hear, they don't need to scream and yell at you. That was the type of person. I remember getting out of the shower with this man talking about something that irritated him. I honestly cannot remember what I said. Maybe it's the trauma. He got irritated. He was like, "Oh my god, bro, you always blah, blah," trying to leave the bathroom. I was standing in front of the bathroom door. I'm standing in front of the bathroom door because that's just where I was standing when I was talking to him. I'm not guarding the door, holding anyone against. Sorry. Why do I have to laugh when I'm talking about traumatic things? Like, but I'm not doing any of that. So he's like, move, bro, like move. Let me get out the way. And I'm just like, I'm not guarding the door. I'm still just standing where I'm talking. I'm like, wait, like, why are you getting so angry? Like, just talk to me real quick, whatever, whatever. This man shoves me. He shoves me. If I didn't catch myself, like, he would have shoved me to the ground. He shoves me out of the way, almost fell to the ground, and storms out the door, walks out the door. The man who just shoved me because he didn't want to talk said, "Oh, I beat up my friends who beat on women." And you know what? I was affected by that. I talked to that man maybe like an hour later when he calmed down. I said, like, "Are you crazy? Like, you literally just like you put your hands on me. You shoved me." Well, mind you, I didn't touch you. I wasn't like guarding the door and not letting you out. Like, I was just in the middle of talking to you. And I was like, "You don't see anything wrong with that? Like, you're not sorry?" You want to know what this man said? He said, no, because you're in my way." No, because you were in my way. So I really never told anyone about that because I know how my family and my circle would get down. But I never told anyone about that. I was like very affected by it. Like, he never apologized. He was like, "No, I don't feel bad. You're in my way. Like, you're in my way." That was his answer. Unfazed by it completely. Yeah, so the same man who said, "Oh, I beat him, my blah, blah, blah," like, he probably doesn't even see that as putting his hands on me because, like, "Oh, I didn't punch you, I didn't slap you, I didn't like choke you, but like you still put my your hands on me when I didn't put my hands on you." Like, boy logic is crazy. Like, I bet he literally doesn't think anything of that. And like I said again, sometimes I rationalize that one Dr. Umar clip where it's like, maybe your father didn't, maybe your like, I really rationalize, and I'm like, knowing how this man is, how he grew up around so much violence and chaos, I was like, he probably doesn't see that as a problem. Even though, "Oh, I hate women, I hate women," but then you did something like that and you see right through it. Got it. So I'm so glad that I saved myself. That was like a couple weeks before we broke up. And because who knows, if I would have stayed with that man, would have got even madder about something else. Maybe it would have been something different, you know? Based on all these things, I really thought that man was safe. I thought this aggressive man who was always yelling at me, like I said, I've mentioned it before. This is the same man that, "I love women. If it's about women, it's up. All my aggression is always towards men." No, it wasn't, because what I just told you guys about and how he would talk to me. Is the same man who was harassing me and threatening me after we broke up because he's mad at Lil YouTube. This is the same. I'm like, why did I feel safe with that? Oh, he's safe because he said he would do this and that and this for me, play Blick somebody lotto. Like I really got stuck in like that like suburban tribe with my first YN. Like, what? Like, I be hearing that's a canon event. And mind you, when I like use the term YN and stuff, I'm not saying again that as like a suburban black person, I'm above people or like, oh, everyone from the hood or who grew up like that just acts like that. No, that's not the case. It's the people like him who don't choose to get help and stand up and just cry about their problems and inflict pain about. That's the people I have a problem with. That is the people I have a problem with. So yeah, this video and maybe this retrograde really just has me thinking. Like, especially I consume true crime. What's going on in the media? Like, it's just so scary for women right now. Even our rights, like, even our rights, and who are our rights being defended by? Men. Like, it's just there's too much on the line. We are too beautiful, gorgeous, intelligent, monumental. Like, we're just too many things to be settling for someone who is not safe. And even though I focused a lot on, like, someone's different aspects of life, how they live physically, I always mean what I say too, mentally and emotionally too. Like, pay attention when you're dating men. How do they treat other people? How do they treat other women? Do they care about women that they're not related to? Do they care about women who they don't find attractive? What would they do in these certain situations? What is their career goals? What are they willing to do to get to their goals? There's just so much stuff to think about that I will definitely be thinking about. I know heartbreak and like breakups can be a sad thing. Honestly, it was really hard. I mean, it was really easy to get over the last ex based off all information. I feel like you guys like can understand. Maybe I'm just a Scorpio bitch, but honestly, every heartbreak for me since the first time I've been heartbroken gets easier. I get over it faster and I get stricter every time. I get stricter every time because it's only like, y'all, I find myself every day becoming more and more like Draw Swallow, and I love it. That's my girl. Watch her podcast. She's so funny and so real, and I want to be like her when I grow up because there's absolutely too much. Like, especially, and I'm speaking to myself, but I'm always speaking to you. Like, me personally, the things I love about myself, like I said, the healing I've done, how I treat people, how I think about the world, like all these things beyond just my physical, I'm like, are way too important and just like amazing to just be giving to anyone. No. I need someone who's trying and doing and putting in the work too. Don't have time for whatever that is. Again, I know my brain is developing because the last person I was with, he only got 4 months of my time versus my both my relationships before that were a whole year. So clock it, because we not doing that. But yeah, I love not the things I go through, but just where it has led me to in this path right now, speaking to y'all in the camera. So, yes, I hope you feel the same about yourself. Anybody, men, women, non binary people, we here. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I hope that I said something meaningful that you can take away from this video. Please check out the rest of my podcast episodes or any video on this channel, really. As always, thank you guys for listening to me till the end, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!